UVM folk music?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah, that was correct.
Okay. They're sharing a mic, so hopefully you guys can hear them. They are, because this is last minute, I just saw the UVM Love My Club at through WRUV listserv, which is very active. And I was like, we should spread the love out a little bit, and I'm all about social capital and joining clubs and everything else, so it's like we should have other people on, because WRUV is murdering the pledge drive right now. So, let's share the love a little bit. So, we'll turn down the music so we can actually talk to you guys. You want to give your names? You can just first names. We don't want to give you have aliases, like when you go contra dancing. Like you have a contra name. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm Katrina.
I'm Lisa.
Okay, cool.
Very happy to be here. Thank you for having us on your show.
Yeah. First guest. This is the 5th show I've done with talk radio, and most of my friends are like, "You're doing a talk radio show." James, the really quiet guy, sometimes is doing a talk radio show. So, first of all, which club you want to start with first?
I think Contra.
Contra would be good, yeah.
Well, the theme of your show is social capital.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what I'm trying to promote people to go out and join like an organization or join a club, and it's good for your community. It's good for yourself. That's the gist of my show, and philosophy and a bunch of. I've always wanted to do a science show, but I figured this is considering the weird stuff going on. That sociology and social capital is really important. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, contra dance, I would say, is like the ultimate form of social capital, where we have so many people come, like, dance after dance and enjoy dancing and like meeting new people.
And I know that like a friend of mine actually just recently, after the most recent contra dance, we were talking about like new people that she had talked to, and like she talked about like a very like moving conversation she had with someone, and she was sort of saying like that would never have happened, that connection would have never happened if they hadn't like danced together and then talked afterwards. And like I think that contra dance gives the opportunity to like make connections that wouldn't otherwise happen, and like just have a great time also.
And it's often a lot of age groups that are there. I remember when I went out, there was a guy that must have been like 90 just tearing up the floor. I was like, and it's good for your health. It's really good for your health, dancing. It is overall. And
cardio workout.
It's a cardio workout, and you get to socialize as well, which is one of the most important things for your health.
Live music, and we have lemonade in the back.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously the lemonade is the top on the list.
Right.
You could socialize wherever you want. Where can you get lemonade? So, do you guys know much about your history of your club, or?
Yeah, so we were active pre-COVID, and then COVID kind of, shut a lot of things down, and
the old leaders graduated.
And only last year did we get started back up again. So we're definitely a very new club.
But already very popular.
Yeah.
Not to toot our own horn, but like we get regular attendance is like 150 people.
Wow.
Which is a lot. And
that's the Dunbar number. You guys know about the Dunbar number?
Yeah, that is it's like an this idea that like 150 people is like the number of humans that can that's your top number of people that you can have a network with and have close bonds with, and that was the idea that I don't know, back in the day, that was the amount of people that would hang out together.
Yeah, so I haven't nerded out on that on my show yet, but I have like a little blurb about it, so now I don't have to. So, but 150 is a good size for an organization. Mm-hmm. So WRUV also went through a rough time during COVID too, and I haven't been here for a while either. I've been not in town, so but I've been. Thank you. So, what kind of events do you guys have? Like, how often do you have something going on? And do you have stuff besides contra dancing and the contra dancing group?
Oh boy.
So glad you asked. Yeah, so our full name is the UVM Contra and Folk Dance Society.
Okay.
So we do have a contra once a month, the third Saturday, or the fourth? Fourth.
Fifth is not.
No, it's the fourth
Saturday.
That sounds pretty fake. They're like, the 5th Saturday, show up to this random location. It's on leap year.
Yeah. Last month, February, was pretty special because we had the February Fish Formal, where either formal wear and fish wear, and we also had a ball folk dance as well, which is like Western European dances, so it was really beautiful to see a lot of contra dancers come out and try something that was a little bit not maybe up their alley, so that was lovely.
Yeah. And we're trying to like I mean, contra is the main focus, and that's what brings out a lot of people, but we are like really committed to showcasing other types of folk dance.
Yeah.
And really excited about
There's
that.
more than one?
Yeah. Oh yeah, all over.
Yeah.
That's cool. So how long have you guys been involved with the organization?
Basically since it started, which it got kind of revamped spring of 2024.
Yeah.
And we had a couple dances where we were doing everything ourselves and
Volunteers. Like we couldn't pay for
we didn't
performers.
pay,
or not callers
and bands both were like did it completely for free, which is lovely. And this year we've been able to actually like pay people,
which is great.
Yeah, because those guys need to get paid.
Yes.
Musicians are having a rough time.
Our next dance actually is March 22nd.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Glow Contra, which is we're gonna have some synth beats and like maybe some glow sticks or black lights, something
Right
like
up
that.
my alley.
You should come.
Yeah, please. And they're open to community members. It's really not.
Yeah,
we don't want it to be limited to
Parents,
UVM
your little
students.
sister.
Yeah,
So it's
Babies.
Saturday.
right. No, I've seen people contra with babies strapped to their chest.
I've seen it. I've seen it. People at Contra Dance have babies, believe it or not.
Yeah, but Saturday, March 22nd, 6:45 is the beginner lesson. It's at Mann Hall.
On Trinity campus.
Yeah.
And it goes till 9:30.
Yeah, and anyone is welcome, so
Yes.
please bring a friend.
Cool. That's great. So how do you guys meet through this club, or do you knew yourselves beforehand?
Lisa and I were destined to meet at UVM, actually. We met, we were in the same orientation group, and then we lived in the same hall, and then we had 2 of our classes together, so if we had not met, it was going to happen.
Yeah.
No way. But we also, another thing that we did together is Folk Music Club,
Okay.
which is really fun, and that one's a bit more frequent, and that's once a week.
Yep.
Also pretty open to community members if anyone wants to come.
Yeah, and that's more like
Don't you have you have a physics professor that's like
yeah, he's the director of the Luke Donforth.
Not a folk music club?
No, but of Contra.
Yeah.
Yes.
Does he teach physics?
I think so.
I think it had chemistry. He was teaching physics when I was here a long time ago.
Oh, really?
It is physics,
Okay.
yes.
It's Malcolm. No,
I don't know.
I've forgotten his name.
There's
I just know he's out.
There's Don Stratton, who also is a UVM professor who comes and calls for Contra,
Okay.
and also Luke Donforth, who is like a crazy big
Faculty.
caller, and it's amazing that he calls and supports us. In the
He's
way
also
that
the
he does.
faculty advisor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know there's a physics professor. He might be gone. I don't know. He used to be. He hangs out down at Radio Bean on Wednesdays for their
Jam?
jam
Yeah,
session.
the Irish Jam?
I've been there.
Is it Don Stratton, do you think?
Maybe.
I don't know.
We're just throwing names out here. He's
Yeah.
down there.
Anyways.
My friend who took me to Contra Dance practices down during the jam sessions at the Radio Bean. So
That's awesome.
Sarah. So
Wait, that Contra practice. Oh, I see.
Like,
Okay.
she just jams. I believe his name is Malcolm, but I could be wrong.
I don't think I know him.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
There's lots of folk people here.
Oh, yeah,
so
totally.
That's true. I love how strong the community is in Burlington.
it's
like,
very, very strong.
there's lots to do.
I mean, I've traveled a lot, and for per capita, I think Burlington's probably one of the strongest for like musical events and other things going on. So, I've been fortunate, and WRUV has been part of my community. That's how I know most of my people in Burlington is tangentially through here or directly through here. A lot of my good friends are now out of the country. I don't know why. Why would they move to Canada? I don't understand.
Yeah.
So, folk club. How long you guys been involved with folk club?
Since
Like the beginning of
the first week of freshman year. I mean, because it's when the weather's nice. Right now we're indoors, but when the weather's nice, we play in the amphitheater, which is like in the middle of the dorms, and like
anybody can stop and listen.
Yes, and
People in the dorms open their windows and like yell out to us.
the way that we found it is like we're walking around outside and you hear music and you're like, oh, what's going on over there? And now we're hooked.
Yeah, totally. And also like folk music club and Contra, there's so much overlap, and we see so many
Totally.
faces at folk music club that we see in Contra, and it's really lovely.
Yeah. Talk about community.
Yeah,
It's like one big web.
Do you guys have any interesting stories from either of the clubs?
Well,
Can't use swear words, and you can't use things like
Okay.
any bodily fluids are not allowed on WRUV airwaves.
got it. Well, I mean, this isn't funny, but I feel like I was telling this to Katrina today. There's one of our actually multiple of our friends are in a new bluegrass band that I would say they're more country. Okay,
Sorry.
country? No, that's fair. I don't really
Any difference
know.
anymore?
Well, I don't really know a lot about country or bluegrass. I'm more.
Well, in any case, shout out Swampy Talk.
Anyways, shout out Swampy Tonk. I saw them for the first time this Tuesday, and they were awesome. But anyways, and like these people are all incredible musicians, and like probably maybe they would have met if not for Folk Music Club. But the main reason
most of the members have been to Folk Music Club.
Yeah, and like the lead singer Johnny.
Frequents Folk Music Club.
So, and he's a great addition to the crowd. Yeah. So, connections are made, clubs or bands are formed.
Cool. Yeah. This is kind of last minute, so they didn't have to come. They didn't have time to write down the best anecdote or story from their club. So,
well, I feel like the funny contra stories I'm thinking of aren't necessarily
the shock.
Oh, yes! Oh, wait, that's a good one. Okay, so funny story is that one of our first dances...
I think it was literally the first one.
Probably. Was at Man Hall. And all of a sudden, people in the back of the room were getting these crazy static shocks. And all you hear, screaming from the back. And someone ran up and was like, everyone's getting shocked back there. And we were like, well, we don't know what are we supposed to do about that?
Yeah, it was crazy. I don't know why that happened. We still haven't... It hasn't happened again.
Actually, we got a little shock.
Positive omen. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Were there a lot of cats
the
on the
vibes
dance
were
floor?
just too good. Oh, maybe. We were dancing on carpet. It's all carpeted.
It's
not. Oh, it was a joke?
It was a joke.
Oh. I was like, where's the carpet?
That would be a very bad surface to contra dance.
Yes.
Carpet and dancing is a terrible idea. Anyone that's setting up dance events, techno, carpet, no. Contra dancing, carpet, no.
Well, if you love techno, you'll, by golly, have you heard of Techno Contra?
Techno Contra, you
said. Calls those kinds of dances, and he's incredible.
Yeah. And that's what's inspiring our Glow Contras. Yeah. It's light, like synth, But we went to one in Saratoga Springs where total techno, circle to the left,
Yeah, it was unbelievable mixture of two types of music and vibe.
Yeah, I've only been to one because I was traumatized by square dancing in high school.
That's fair.
I always wanted to square dance in high school.
Yeah, me too.
And
I was mad that we didn't.
Well, I was finally convincing my high school gym teacher. I was like, listen, Mr. Matthews, we gotta do a square dancing. And he's like, I'm Facebook friends with a world-class square dancer. And then COVID hit, so it was plan spoiled.
Oh, tragic.
Shame.
Yeah.
But I did bring my tin whistle.
Yeah.
If I could play, I would love to play Mari's Wedding.
This is a classic folk tune. I think it's Scottish. Yeah. And mostly what we sing is from the book Rise Up Singing, and it's John Prine.
Yep.
That kind of stuff.
So just be careful of levels where the thing is. You can hear them in your headphones.
Right.
That was awesome.
Okay.
That was the best thing I've ever heard.
That was probably the cleanest I've ever played. The nerves really did come through.
It's generally when I'm DJ, if I'm nervous, this actually comes out better. So, yeah.
So that's a taste of what we play at Folk Music Club. Just a teaser.
But with a larger band, it was just not.
Yeah, we had 8 guitars. We had so many guitars today, and ukuleles and
flute. We have trumpet sometimes. Bass guitar.
There's a communal washboard.
There is a washboard.
Come play the washboard.
Yeah.
So it's 15 people playing the same washboard.
No. Well, people take turns. They're sharing. Yeah. But you can donate to these organizations.
Yes.
Love My Club.
Love My Club. So so you're promoting which 2 clubs and the third later on?
UVM Contra, which actually does not have a Love My Club page, but please come to our dance and support us there. Yes. As well as UVM Folk Music Club,
which
has the Love My Club page. Yes.
So how far you got? Actually, we can't say numbers, but no numbers. But you could say you're close to your goal, not close to your goal.
Yeah, I think. Well, our goal is to we didn't have a large goal, so we're, I think any amount of money would have been whoa, we did it.
I mean, with Folk Music Club,
we're not asking for for much.
The goal is just to get people together to sing. So we spend money on
egg shaker.
Yeah, like, and the washboard. The washboard was a recent purchase. So it's like that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But we're definitely doing great with the Love Nightclub. So
Yeah.
we're very grateful to everybody who's,
very grateful.
decided
Yeah.
to donate something.
But I'm here to promote
Yeah. Well,
different clubs.
in the name of promotion, I would actually love if there are any UVM students listening or any Burlington community members and you don't have a bike, UVM Bikes, the UVM Bike Co-op is actually having a bike raffle right now. So if you donate $5 to the UVM Bikes Love My Club page and email us a screenshot, we will enter you into a drawing and you will get a bike. And actually, we're being very vague about the bike because we will fit it to you and make sure it fits you and it's the one that you want. So please donate, and it supports a really good cause, which is the bike co-op, which is provides free repairs and reduced part prices. So if you don't have a bike, or if you and your friend don't have a bike, you should totally enter our bike raffle because it's a great way to support both people.
I'm a huge bike fan.
Yeah,
So
Perfect.
I used to live in, well, you guys, it's before your time, the purple and pink polka dot house on Colchester Ave.
I don't think I know it.
It's gray now, so they painted over it. So that was my friend Jerry, he biked everywhere. He didn't ride in a car, so big bike fans. And I biked across Europe.
Wow.
Wait, from where to where?
Yeah.
Which cross?
Vienna to Copenhagen.
Oh, wow.
Cool.
But I just mostly was on the Danube, and then some trains mixed in the middle because I was like, I'm never going to make it to Copenhagen in time. So, and I was running out of money, so there was that. So,
Yeah, I
but
started.
biking's a lot of fun in Burlington, even in the winter. Get studded tires or not studded tires.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple days where I was biking down Main Street and it was slushy, and my front brake hasn't been working, and I actually nearly crashed into someone, and I felt so bad. So I did walk a little bit after that, but it's been
Walking, biking, they're both fun.
biking. Yeah, totally. Though I will say, before I got involved with the bike co-op, I feel like my bike never broke. But now that I bike regularly and have somewhere to fix it, it's always like, I have a flat tire, or my brakes.
Well, maybe it's also just that you know when something's wrong. Because I think my brakes were definitely completely shot for a long time, and then I knew what was up, and I was like, okay, now I need to do something about this. Yeah.
So where is the bike
That's a
co-op
great
located?
question. We're actually kind of past Waterman, if you know where that is. So, right near the Sigma 5.
If anyone listeners don't know where Waterman is, you can call in
Yeah, call in,
656
please.
4399.
Wait, can
Yeah, we
say
can give you
it again?
directions.
Say the number again, yeah.
656 4399.
Yeah.
That's the number.
But it's called the Booth House. And it's our physical location. And it's a great place to hang out. We have snacks and lots of bikes. So if you just want to come around and tinker with a bike, we
Smell
got
some bike grease.
We actually have a call.
Oh my gosh,
God.
this is so exciting.
I can't put them on air, but we can see what they say.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
WRUV. 86 South William Street. That's where it's at. So I'm assuming that's where it is. Do you have anything else you want to say? Oh. Working panels. Yeah, they're not working.
What was the question? James is currently on the phone with it.
Yeah, I am actually. Yeah, no, it just didn't pop up. It is up, but it's not popping up for some reason. Anyway, we're on there, so you could ask me the questions right now. Oh, he wants to know the origin of the word contra. I don't know what it means.
I think so. There's
Yeah.
lots
Okay,
of
thanks.
there's lots of different conversations about where it could have come from. I know that there's one argument that it was sort of contrary to the. Wow, the phone is blowing up.
Sorry, so you have to call back later.
One interpretation is that it was contrary to the norm at the time when it was created, and it was radically, whatever, fun and not restrained or whatever. And then there's another one that it's contra because you stand across from your partner. I don't know. Do you know any others?
No, okay, wait. That one actually doesn't make sense to me because I feel like there's dances where
There's
stand
different
across
ways.
from people.
Yeah, there's different ways to stand. I don't know.
But I don't know. I don't know. That's actually a really good question. I know where Balfo came from, which is not related. Well, sort of related, but
I think it's just there's not a consensus is the answer.
Okay,
Yeah.
we got another caller.
Oh, we got another caller.
Great.
One second. WRUV? Yeah. Yeah. We're on air, but you could just ask me a question, or if you want to say something, I can repeat it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'll ask that question. So as we have a caller saying, like, what's the first step, you know, if you're like a new person, you're kind of nervous. For me, I'll say, the first concert dance that I went to, I had a friend that just dragged me along, and that was a big help because I was just kind of standing around being like, what are they doing? But do you guys have any advice?
yeah, I would say if you're nervous, get there for the beginner lesson.
Yes.
Like, people are so friendly, and if you're a beginner, people are so happy to, you know, go through all the moves with you, make sure you got it all. And also just don't be afraid to ask someone to dance and say, hey, like, are you okay? Would you like to have the next dance? And then, you know, if they would love to have the next dance, they'll say yes. And if they say no, that's okay too. But just putting yourself out there and asking someone to dance, I think makes a big difference.
I think generally
When do you guys have beginner lessons?
6:45 Saturday.
it's like the 15 minutes before the dance technically starts. They like technically start at 7 and then 6:45.
Yep.
And that's like they teach you like all of the basics and it's also like I don't know, there's other people there who can like help you walk through it before the music starts, which is helpful.
So any other questions, caller? Katrina, hi from DC. Okay.
Oh, hi, DC.
All right. All right. Bye. So we're not really set up besides me just answering the phone and repeating the questions, the callers' questions, but thank you, callers.
Yes, thank you to our lovely listeners and to our lovely callers. I am a big WRUV fan. I
yeah?
listen to it, like, whenever I get home, I turn the radio on to see if it's good, and it always is, unless it's jazz, because I don't like jazz. But, yeah, and I have my favorite DJs.
And in the car, you listen to the radio.
I do, I listen to the radio in the car. I love
She's a
WRUV.
fan.
I am a big fan.
I was a massive fan before I came a DJ. I had a friend, Greg, that had it broadcasting on his front porch like 24/7. I just show up and we'd probably like name the DJ. If it was like a random, like during signups, we'd be like, within 3 songs we could name the DJ who was actually playing. So we were dedicated fans before we became DJs. He later became DJ Fisticuffs, for anyone that remembers him from back in the day.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. No, I love turning the radio on and just, like, there's so many interesting, there's so much interesting music out there that I would not have listened to if, like, that random person Tuesday at 2 p.m. was not dedicating their entire show to, like, Latin funk,
Yeah.
you know? It's just, you get to expose to so many different things.
Yeah, one of my favorites, talking about folk music, there was a guy on Wednesday mornings that was someone, immigrant from Ireland, that would just play all Irish folk music that was
That's really cool.
killer. It was off, I'm putting quotation marks, off the chain, you guys. So, it was very good. I really enjoyed it. He doesn't do the show anymore, but there's always DJs cycling in and out that have very niche areas of knowledge that are usually really, really good. So I'm a big fan of WRUV. I was saying, since I'm a DJ,
Yeah, right.
I'm the second longest DJ that's been here, I think, currently DJing at WRUV. So,
Do you know the DJ Saturday morning?
I don't.
I don't know, but he also, I've heard, he has like a really long slot Saturday morning, and sometimes I listen to it. I know that he's also like a community member, who I'm assuming has been here for a while.
Saturday morning?
Did you used to be Saturday? No, you didn't.
No, I've always been, it's been a while. It's been 2016, I think, since I've had a regular radio show, but I've subbed in once in a while.
What was it like as a community member getting involved with like WRV, which I know a lot of us think of like
Or
as a
did you-
UVM?
Did you start when you were in UVM?
No, but I heard, when I was at UVM, I did listen to, I remember punk music. It was big punk time when I was there back in the day. So, no, I just had my friend No, I met Greg through WRUV. I listened to WRUV. I heard that trainings were coming on, and they gave us a time and place. And I just showed up, did the training, and it was in the old studio. It was in Billings.
Oh, really?
So,
In the student center. Was that pre-Davis then?
Pre-Davis.
Oh
yep.
my goodness, yeah.
That-
I wish
that
it
was-
UVM one. It was pre-Davis.
I wish it was still.
Yeah.
You walk in. I always tell people there was like inch and a half posters on all the walls, had all recessed lighting cans, and it was about 3 times the size of their studio now. And it was just dripping like history with the Fugazi posters, signed Fugazi posters, and everything. It
Fugazi
was-
is from DC. Shout out DC.
Fugazi and Bad Brains.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, it's super cool. Even now, like when walking in this studio now, when you see like the Polaroids on the wall and all the music, it feels very history. So I can't even imagine how it would have been like with
We built.
more.
Like decades.
We built it up. When the first thing I came here was there was all painted walls and nothing on the walls. It's like first thing we need to do, guys, is put stickers or as much stuff as we can get on the walls because this place is dead boring. So it's definitely spiced up. And now we have placards from some of our famous DJs, like LJ, who's been a staple, was a staple at WRUV for the longest time. He was a community member that just come in and would just berate all the RUV DJs on air, but in a lovely way. He was like the station curmudgeon. And then there was Tom, who has another plaque over there. He was a very good friend of mine, who passed away in the other area in the studio. He was. I always come in and talk to him about mathematics and physics because I'm a nerd. So it was tons of community members that would come in. Like I said, most of the people that I know in Burlington has been either connected through WRUV or adjacent. So
Yeah.
it's been a godsend for me. So.
Yeah. Totally.
So, unless you guys have any other stories or things you want to talk about?
No, I
we
think.
covered-
Yeah. Thank you so much for.
Yeah, this has been great.
Yeah.
You guys are technically the first guest on the show, so that's exciting.
I'm
We're
honored.
So I've had other people that I've lined up. I pushed them back because I'm like, okay, I have a ton of content I'm trying to get out, but I knew with Love My Club, this is time sensitive, so I was like, we just have people come on. So I just reached out this afternoon, and so you guys had just found out through.
I saw
the
the
email.
email and I jumped on that.
Yeah, and here we are.
Here we are now. I said,
Super.
Lisa, you've got to come with me.
Because that's what I'm trying to shoot for. Is just like interaction between friends, because I'm not exciting all the time. So I figured like friends, if I'm just like can't think of any questions, I can just talk to them themselves. Actually, do you guys have any questions for each other? Like good in-depth questions that are like,
A good the radio-worthy question. My goodness.
Do we want to do our planned questions?
Our plan. We talked about our plan question. Okay.
That's-
Okay. Well, no. Well, okay. I'll
They're not
ask.
super deep.
No, I don't think so.
I mean, it doesn't have to
What
be
if-
deep.
okay,
It just has to
what
be
if-
like friends questions.
Sure. What have you gotten from both clubs? Like, being in the leadership of both clubs, both of us are now.
Yeah.
I don't know. What has that given, or I don't know. What?
I feel like it's
Yeah.
given. I'm really glad. Actually, that's a really good question. I feel like it's given me so much. First of all, just last year when I was kind of more of a participant, like the confidence to do new things and to, play the tin whistle and play the guitar and all this stuff. But also, especially with Contra, as we're, 19, 20, 21-year-olds like emailing grown adults asking for a filled out W-9 and like, can you do this Saturday? And we're kind of running an operation and budgeting, and I feel like I am learning way more than any of the business school people must be learning, just because we are actually doing
Yeah.
business.
We're
and,
running. Yeah.
like
essentially.
business for like the love of dance, which I think is very beautiful.
Yeah, and not for profit. We are
Yeah.
a donation-driven dance. We don't turn anyone away for lack of funds and don't require an entrance fee.
And I was on the EB for 9 years, so I see executive board. So
Oh,
I'm
thank
usually
you.
flying. Jeez, you guys can't read my mind. Sorry.
Of WRUV, you mean?
Yeah, WRUV. So I was the non-community representative, which means you don't vote. We just kind of like make sure you guys don't sink the ship, kind of advice.
Right.
So I just know a lot of those. Had made a lot of close friends that way, and seen them gone on to do great things and work for Disney or a bunch of other companies. So I think it's a very good learning experience being on the executive board.
Yeah.
They've learned lots of different things because you have firsthand experience, including we always need like a technical person at WRUV. So I'm a very technical person. I usually teach everyone. It's a good way to learn skills. One of our former people actually started an AI company. One of our former tech people. So.
Well, I think that's what college is all about, is going and perhaps being more involved than you were in high school. And like now the university is giving you like all of this money and all this responsibility to, like, as you said, not sink the ship. And it's kind of beautiful just to see how until you put in so much of your time into something that you're not getting paid for.
Yep.
For the bike co-op too, genuinely, I was thinking to myself the other day, I was like, we should be getting paid for this. I don't know, maybe actually that's not fair, but it's so much work.
Well, it is a lot.
It's so much work.
It's a lot of energy.
And, you know, we're students, we have class, we have homework, and, you know, the president of the bike co-op is like an engineering major, and he's at the co-op for like hours a week fixing people's bikes for free just for the love of biking, which is, so.
It's very, I don't know.
But being involved in your community, I think,
Yes,
helps.
exactly.
Your mental health is a huge thing, being involved with a club. I mean, or even stuff like the thing I've been pushing lately is study groups. A lot of different study groups help. That would help me a lot when I was going through my engineering degree. Because it really helps you if you're teaching someone else or you're learning from someone else, activate certain social parts of your brain that really actually 10 pluses your learning abilities. So
Totally. I mean, I've like, just speaking of things we've learned, I am recently have been like helping one of our. Oh, am I too far? No. Anyways, I've been recently helping one of our fellow officers in the club set up the like sound system before the dances, and that is something that like I never ever would have expected to be doing, because it's not like really, I don't know. Anyways, it's just like I'm being exposed to a lot of new things and learning a lot of really cool things.
even if you're learning different skills you're not necessarily use. Here's a favorite book of mine called The Range, that the rise of generalists. So basically he talks about how being a generalist really helps you apply those skills in other areas that might be your career later on. So anyway, do you guys have any other questions for each other?
Well, I have a question for you.
Sure.
How often do you listen? Sorry, Lisa. How often do you listen to WRUV?
I am not in Burlington anymore, so I am not in Radio Lynch, but I listen once in a while.
Wait.
So I'm in Central Vermont right now.
Oh.
But I was like, I thought I would be in Burlington, so I signed up for the thing, and I was like, okay, I'll sign up and do a show. This is really, this is a really important subject to cover, because socialization and isolation is really on the one's down, one's up, and everyone kind of know which way the trend's going. And I think it's such an important thing to kind of cover. So, and I've always kind of wanted to do a science show, like I want to do like with my friends, like years ago. It's a lot of, it's a ton of work, but I built up like I've been studying it for. I've been building up like over a couple years, like stuff ahead of time. So now I can be like, okay, I can play this, and cut this up and talk about it. So,
Yeah, wow.
but before I would listen all the time, so I would know everyone's DJ's name and who they're playing more than anyone else. I was like their biggest fan.
Yeah, that's cute.
Great.
But I was off the EB, and then I moved out of Burlington. I traveled a lot, and now I'm kind of back, not in Burlington, but the plan is to be back in the spring at some point. So, but as everyone knows, housing in Burlington has gotten crazy.
Yes.
Crazy. But that's worldwide. Anyway, any other questions?
Well, Lisa, you played violin in high school.
Yeah.
And then you stopped for a while. And now you're back at it? What's the news?
This is true. I played classical violin for like 10 years. and I didn't really like it, or at least had a very complicated relationship with it.
It's a very
I think
difficult
my mom
instrument to
is,
learn.
Yeah, well, yeah, I think my mom is listening. Sorry, Mom. But yeah, so, and it just, I don't know, it didn't feel like something I wanted to continue. And then, this fall, Maeve, our friend who actually spearheaded this resurgence of the Contra Club, who's a Burlington local and used to go in high school to the Contras here. She plays the fiddle, and she invited me to a jam session that's just at a friend's house, so it's a very small thing, and all of a sudden I was like, yeah, why not? And I'm really into the fiddle now, and I actually played my first contra in the band last weekend.
That's exciting.
Yeah, which is crazy. And it's not something not something I would have ever expected, but it's once you get one foot in this community, you're just completely sucked in by people who really care about all of these things and who just want to share the love with others. So
And there's other Contra organizations here is full too. I know there's one that runs out of Montpelier, Barrie area.
Queen City Contra too in Shelburne. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It is a lot of fun. I've only been once because
You
I'm
should
a,
come. You should come
Okay.
on March 22nd.
You kind of have to come now.
Yeah.
I probably will.
Yay! Great.
I roll head tilted to the side. No, it's a lot of fun. Even from my trauma from high school, I got over that because my friends. I made a deal with my friend Sarah that she has to go out to Montreal and go techno dancing with me, clubbing. And
Wait, what club do you frequent in Montreal? I was just clubbing in Montreal, technically.
There's a sound bar, but I usually have there's homebrew. There's homebrew. Oh shoot! Now you put me on the spot. Homebrew. There's a little just collective of people that puts on shows around Montreal, random spots called homebrew. Shoot. Just look up homebrew and club music, and then I'm on a listserv for events around Montreal because I'm more I like the clubs to be dark and dirty and just just real small and just people are there for the music. It's not there to be to worship the DJ, kind of and there's always there's the Igloo Fest that's always fun. Dancing outside.
I have a friend who went there.
Ooh.
Yeah, Saskia from my urban
We
geography
have
class.
a mutual friend who the night before was what if we got up and went to Montreal tomorrow for English? And we're no. We're not doing that.
Would have been lit.
And Picnic Electronic during the summer is beautiful.
Outdoors?
It's gorgeous.
Or-
Outdoors on the island.
That sounds awesome.
And it is you dance it's starts in 10 o'clock and then they close it down around 10, so you get to see the sunset.
Beautiful.
And there's two little DJ booths, so I always have a good time when I'm there. So I lived in Montreal for a summer once a couple years ago, so that was a lot of fun.
Cool.
So, but there's events in Burlington too. It's not as big as a scene as in Montreal. So,
Ooh, how
I
would
love Montreal.
a person find out about the techno events in Burlington?
Like I said, I haven't been in Burlington for a while. Half Club is closed. There's Taka that's on. He plays more house, disco. I believe he's still playing at the Lamp Shop, which is happening probably right now. And I think he does a Friday or Saturday night. Like I said, I haven't been in Burlington in a while, so I'm not up on who's DJing. And all my DJ friends are no longer in Burlington anymore.
Yeah.
So, but eventually when I'm back, I'll probably DJ set. There'll be not James, not Ted is my DJ name. So,
Cool.
The whole thing, not James, not Ted.
no, my DJ name is DJ, not Ted. But that's generally when I introduce myself. How I got my DJ name was I would introduce myself as hey, my name's James, not Ted, and people are did I call you Ted? I'm no, but don't call me Ted. It was at least 15 minutes of me just making up stuff, so it's a good way. Tip number one, introducing yourself, just make up something weird. People like weird stuff.
It's memorable.
It's memorable, exactly.
That's cool.
Most people don't know me as James. They just shout out Ted to me.
Yeah.
Because they're like Ted. So anyway,
That's funny.
Great.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having us.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
this
great.
been a really
This is
nice
super.
conversation.
Yeah, awesome.
Is anyone else coming on? Do you know?
I had one other person, but he couldn't make it on. I'm just going to shout out what his club is about.
Oh, yay.
It's really short notice, so
Yeah,
not many
yeah.
people got a chance to.
Yeah, totally.
I maybe got some emails when we've been talking, but there's only one other person that came on the last minute. So, but we'll be promoting other clubs. If you think this is a fun experience, invite other people that you know that come on and they want to talk about their club. That'd be super.
Sure, I'll spread the word.
I'm looking for community members. I wasn't nervous to be like, because I'm an old guy. I was like, oh, maybe I'll have students talk to students, but this has been good. Yeah, exposure is also fun.
Oh yeah, and our friend Owen was on last week. What?
Yep, and that's been going on, and they've been killing it this semester and last semester. So check out exposure. Okay, so I'll put some music on the background. Just 3 organizations you want to promote. Just throw them out now. Last shout out.
Contra Club, UVM Contra and Folk Dance Society, UVM Folk Music Club,
And UVM bikes! Exclamation point!
Okay, super. So it's going almost going to be 9 o'clock, so it's going to be news and weather because I got to get that sorted. And thank you guys for coming on. This has been
Thank
super.
you so much.
Yeah,
Have a great
okay.
night.
Alright.